what's going on? It's your boy Carl coming back at you with another banger from Golden Grim Productions. So this time we're gonna be reacting to Magic and Larry Bird reminiscing from 2009 about when they were in college in the NBA as well. If you are new, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. We just cracked 1,100 subs, bro. So that's amazing. Considering that it wasn't that long where I had touched 1,000. I love y'all. Thank y'all for what y'all continue to do, bro. I'm gonna continue mixing in interviews, older and new. If I can't find new ones of players who are in the league, then I'm gonna find the old school ones if I can find them. I'm gonna try to find the best quality ones put on the channel. So we're gonna throw that into the mix, you know what I'm saying? Let's get to it, man.
Larry, you talk about us meeting 30 years ago. And now we played in front of probably 15, 16,000. Now the Final Four, 72,000 people saw the game. It's really incredible.
Now I will say I'm pretty sure the numbers might be, this was in 2009. Times have changed. I can say that. And I think it has a lot to do with the advancement of technology. Excuse me, it's super early when I'm recording this video. That has a lot to do with the advancement of technology. I'm pretty sure back then a lot of people like might not have had TVs, might not have had access to the TVs at the time. So that makes sense why might have been only 17,000 people, but nonetheless, that still like doesn't diminish. That just shows like the testament of how good they were. For at the time, 17,000 was probably nuts. You know what I'm saying? People's watching, but like you said, it was limited. Like I said, it's limited to what people were able to do. It's not the same where we have access to a lot of internet where you could watch something and it count as a view, or internet, tablets, computer wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways now that we can watch games without actually paying for it. Which versus like you having to actually have a physical TV to sit down and watch the game.
Well, I don't know if 70-some thousand can see it, but they're here, probably watching on Jumbotron. But, you know, it's amazing how the game has come so far and all the time they put into it to make it better. So the NCAA has done a great job, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. When we first came in, there's 32 teams. Now there's 64, and a lot of quality teams out there.
Yes, and I'd say that we put the madness in March, you know, in that game that we had, still the highest rated final in NCAA history. What did you think happened? Why did we were able to capture the imagination of everybody around the country?
You know, I'm still amazed by that, but you know, the TV ratings back then, people just had 4 or 5 channels to pick from.
And when I think about it, now that I think about it, it was only 32 teams back then. So you're already in the camera. You might as well go. It was only 32 teams at that time. So now it's 64. For that game to still be the highest rated, sure, is a testament. Because like think about it, you would think with more people able to watch, it would be more high profile games, when that's really not the case. Some things can withstand the test of time, and it looks like this is one of those things. Because like I said, when they was in, now it's been a lot further along in time because this is from 2009, but it was 30 plus years and it was still the highest rated game. Now I don't know if it's still the highest rated game now, but at that point for it, 2009, and they were able to still hold that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Like even with the lack of TVs at the time.
I got 400, but I think it was just, in my case, people really didn't see me play on national TV. I was from a mid-major school. And then you come in and with all the hype and the play that you did and the struggles you had earlier in your season, and we were undefeated and we're playing against a Big Ten champion, and I think it just caught everybody's attention. And here it is 30 years later, and they still ask a lot of questions about it.
Still today. Then we both go on. You go to the Boston Celtics, which I don't know who did this. The basketball gods shine down on us. You end up with Boston. I end up in LA. We went on to win many championships. Tell me your experience in Boston. How was that experience?
Well, bro, is Magic interviewing him basically? Because this is how it sounds. Like it legit sounds like Magic Johnson's interviewing Larry Bird. But then again, that was Larry's impact though. Regardless of how great Magic was, bro, his backstory is like crazy. When you think about it, bro, he was largely unknown. He was from Terre Haute. He went to school in Terre Haute, Indiana. Nobody seen him play on national TV, and then this man comes undefeated and then makes his way to play Magic Johnson.
It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I grew up in Boston. I was very fortunate to go to a small school where I felt comfortable. I love the city of Terre Haute, but once I
Okay, I didn't know he grew up in Boston. All right, that's new. Okay, I keep learning new things about Larry as I watch these videos. I did not know he grew up in Boston. That's new.
left, I was nervous about getting out there, getting settled. But once I got settled in and got to know my way around a little bit in Boston, I knew it was a perfect fit for me. And knowing you was on the West Coast, I was on the East Coast, I was just dreaming about another chance maybe I get to play against you.
Yeah, well, you know what? The NCAA finals created this rivalry that now fans could carry over to the NBA. And then we were able to meet a couple times in the finals. Tell me how your Celtic team would match up against the champions, this season championship, Boston team.
Well, it's really hard to tell because I never really played against them guys. I never played against any of them, but I know their defense was excellent. I think they won the championship because of their defense. I know Paul Pierce is a very, very good player, and Ray Allen's always been one of my favorites because he shoots the ball extremely well and he knows how to play. Then they got Kevin Garnett. Then they got a lot of role players that filled their role. I don't know how we would have competed against him, but
Y'all want to see me highlight like the newer? Like I ain't gonna lie, compared to we only got what we got 2 finals out of the Boston Celtics, and this was during the Kobe year. So through my era that I watched basketball, I only got to see, I only got to see 2 finals between the Lakers and Boston. That was when Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, KG versus Kobe twice. They beat Kobe once in '08, and then we came back and won the 2009, 2010. No, was it? No, that was, no. I got my years mixed up. But I do know that Kobe beat them coming back, and that was, he beat Magic. He beat the Magic first, and then he came back and beat the Celtics the following year. So yeah. And those games, like it didn't hold the same weight as what this will hold. Like Magic and Larry were both Titans. I can't sit here and say at any point Paul Pierce was the best player on the court, but you could make that case for Larry and Magic being the best player on the court at the time, if not both the 2 best players on the court when they were playing each other.
But obviously, with the teams that we had, 84 and 86, I thought in 84 we got lucky and came back and beat you guys. But in 86 was a team that I thought was our best team in Boston, and I would take that team and challenge anyone.
Why is it that the Celtic players make great presidents and GM? Kevin McHale, Minnesota, Danny Ainge with Boston, and you with the Pacers. What is it about you Celtics?
Well, I don't know if we're great, but we've had some success, and I think when it's all said and done, you'll see that our body of work, but we still have a long ways to go. I think it's just because of Red Auerbach. I mean, if you looked around the players that he coached, the guys that went on and coaching, and GMs, and there's a large amount of guys that's been successful when their playing days are over.
Tell me about your Pacers now. You rebuilding, and you got some great young talent. So tell us about your Pacers.
Yeah, we had a situation there for 2 or 3 years where our players really embarrassed the city and our franchise and really hurt us. And I decided to go in a different direction. And when you do that, Irving, you take away a lot of your talents. So really, you're in a rebuilding mode. And last year, we was fortunate to be able to get 2 young players. I think it's going to help us in the long run. But it's a rebuilding situation. But hopefully, we can get there sooner than later. But it's going to take some time.
Well, I talked to you, and you really took some of those incidents personally, and it really hurt you because you want everything to go well. You played the game the right way. You love the state of Indiana. So tell me how you feel about this team now. You're feeling good about it representing not only yourself, but the city of Indianapolis.
Oh, no question about it. The players we have there are quality players. Great individuals. I take any of them home with me. They're sweethearts, but we just got to get better. Obviously, we got some holes to fill, and in the near future, I hope we can plug them holes and start winning a lot of games.
Keita Granger, outstanding small forward, can shoot the light.
Ooh, this was the Danny Granger era too. Like they could have been good. They could have done a lot more. And this was right before PG got there, I think. Yeah, at the time, Danny Granger was the shooting guard or the forward. Paul George hadn't came into the league fully yet, and then he did come into the league, and Granger was still on the team. Them Pacers could have been good. They could have potentially won the ship, but it just didn't. They just man.
Lights out, score from anywhere on the court. What makes him a great player?
His heart. I mean, he came in and wanted to be a great player. He does all his extra work. He's made great strides in the last 4 years. He wants to be the number one guy, and he's going to do whatever he can to be that guy. And you know, through your career, if you want to be somebody, it takes a lot of work. You got to put a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and you got to carry guys along. You got to make the guys around you better.
That's right.
That's one thing Danny's got to work on. He's a very good basketball player, but once he starts figuring out the guys are with him, if he can make them better, it's going to be a lot easier on himself.
Smartest player you ever played with? With.
Dennis Johnson.
Best player you ever played with?
Probably Dennis Johnson. It's close between Kevin and Dennis. They're two different type of players, but I always thought if we really needed something, and Dennis always said I'm a 44% shooter during the regular season and 60 in the playoffs.
That's
but
right.
Kevin was incredible. You played against him, but DJ I thought was a guy I loved to play with. He thought the same way I did, and he's pretty good.
I want to take fans back to your retirement day. And I was in the locker room, and a lot of fans don't know this, but I had my Laker warm-up on, but I didn't bring a shirt. So when I asked the trainer for a T-shirt and to put on up under my Laker warm-up. So won't you take it from there and tell the people what happened?
Well, I seen it. I seen you ask for a T-shirt, and I seen what they gave you. And once we got out there on the stage, you were walking around. I could see the Boston Celtic T-shirt underneath. So I couldn't let it go. I just had to rip that thing open and let all the Celtic fans see that you really wanted to be a Celtic. But it might be your last time to be on.
I'm getting rashes right now.
But it was a pretty good moment. I still sign all them pictures.
And that was a great moment for me as well. Larry, I don't know if there ever will be a rivalry quite like yours and mine. And it's amazing, two Midwest boys.
No lie, I don't think there is. No, there ain't a rivalry where two of the best players in the league. No, but I still stand on that though. Magic had the better team, like overall, as far as teammates in the beginning. Throughout all five of them, he had the better teammates. But Larry just had better. I think Larry was more. He willed himself more. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying Magic didn't, but Larry was that, like, he took it personal before there was the whole he took it personal with Jordan. But I don't think we've seen, we haven't seen back and forths like that. Not in this era. I mean, you could say Steph and LeBron. Because Steph won more than LeBron, and that's a whole different dynamic because that was a super team versus But no, I think no. And the high profile team, Lakers and Celtics have always been high profile, so I don't think there's another two good players who were the number ones. And like if you did back then, it could be 1A and 1B, and they were fresh into the league. They like your pick is your pick. But if you said Magic over Larry or Larry over Magic, nobody would really be mad at you.
Boys. Relatively large families, mama's boys. What made it special was we couldn't run fast, we couldn't jump high, but we loved to compete. What will it take now for the NBA to?
I don't know. If you look at those videos, they say they didn't run fast or jump high. Maybe by the standards of the NBA, I don't know, bro. The average person ain't keeping up with them.
Come back, because I keep telling people it takes rivalries like the ones we had, the Celtics versus the Lakers, for it to really be strong again. What do you think?
Well, in the 80s, early 80s, we came in the league and we were new and we were trying to throw our way around, and we was fortunate enough to win a championship here and there. But really, when it got to 84 on through, Charles came in the league, right. Michael came in the league, Patrick, John Stockton, Karl Malone. You can just keep naming David Robinson later on. But there was more and more great players coming to our league, guys that would do anything to win.
Right.
And it was very competitive. We have a lot of great players in our league now. We just don't have as many. Right. We don't have the rivalries that we used to have. I love to play against, obviously you throughout. I'd love to compete against Michael and Charles and them guys. Now it's a little different, but I think once these younger guys come on, a lot of them came out of school early, but once they get older and they feel that they got an opportunity to win a championship, I think there'll be more competitiveness and a lot better players.
And then back to the Boston-Philly rivalries, back to the Detroit-Chicago, Michael versus Isaiah and his Pistons. That's what we need more of. And then tell me this, and 3 of our friends went into the Hall of Fame this year. So if I said Michael Jordan, what would you say?
I think unbelievable. I mean, I can tell you some things that happened in the games against us. One time I turned, I jumped, and he still went. His knees almost hit me in the chin. And that's when I realized that this guy's pretty special for his jumping ability, but cat quick. He closed down a pass lane as fast as anybody ever seen, and just a phenomenal player.
John Stockton.
One of the smartest players I ever played against. So very crafty,
Me too.
very crafty with the ball. Would always watch the defense, what they were going to do. And if they made a mistake, the ball was delivered right on the money.
And then finally, David Robinson.
David Robinson was big and strong and very agile for a big man. Could score points in bunches and covered up a lot of space. Great up and down the court. Remind me of Robert Parrish when Robert was young. So a very skilled player.
Give me your take on 3 today guys right quick. LeBron James.
He could be one of the best small forwards ever play the game, and I think he's closing in on it now. All he's got to do is win some championships.
Kobe Bryant.
He's my favorite. I think he's the best I've seen in a long, long time. I would never compare him to Michael, but if anyone's close to him, it would be him.
Yeah. Chris Paul.
Chris Paul is crafty. I mean, I seen Chris in practice in college. I never dreamed that he would be this good this early. I knew he had a lot of talent, but very crafty player. Reminds me a lot of John Stockton.
And finally, Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade is incredible. He takes a lot of beating out there, and he just continues to come through. Last year he had a down year, and I watched him play a lot this year. He's just an incredible basketball player.
Thanks. That is a phenomenal interview, Larry Bird. But let me know if y'all want to see me do interviews from when they were younger. I don't know how many of them are out there, Larry, because he wasn't as talkative to the media as he is now. More so it's because he was an executive at that time. So let me know, man. But it's been your boy Carl from Golden Grimmer Productions. Next one.